And we're back.
We're back.
Welcome to the Cavalry, everybody. Johnny, it's been 2 long weeks since we've seen each other. How you doing?
Oh gosh, it's weird. It doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like it.
Oh, I felt every second. Thought of all these things. Oh, I wish Johnny was here for me to tell him this.
I said that at Disney. I'd be in line. I'd pull out my phone. Like, why are you always on your phone? I was like, well, I gotta talk to Andrew about this line that we're standing in.
This minor inconvenience that we're going through. Oh God, I'd have the perfect guy to talk to about this.
Yeah, I know someone that would back me up.
Can you just give me the full Disney?
Well,
I don't want to touch on topics, so if it's gonna,
I haven't looked at my topics yet, but I've got a whole note here of just Disney. It started out on our way to the airport, and it just drives me nuts. The calmness people have about getting to the fucking airport, and this pushback of getting there too early. Like, that's the worst thing that could happen, is you could get there too early. They're like, it's not that far away. What are we gonna do? I don't want to stand around. I'm like, okay, all right. I don't want to be that guy, so fine. We're driving to the airport, whole family, mother-in-law in the car, a train. We get caught behind a fucking train that we have to wait. And it's like, oh, we're not gonna, oh my God, what is this ridiculous? And I'm just in my head, I'm just biting my tongue. Like, this is fucking exactly why you leave 45 minutes earlier than you think you should, because you're gonna sit behind a train for 25 fucking minutes. And you see the ETA, it's like, 20. ETA says 45. It's not 4. There must be traffic. This is a 20-minute drive. We're fine. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding
I know.
me?
Let me tell you something about those ETAs on GPSs. They're never wrong. And you think you're gonna make up the time. They've already somehow, like, if you're driving like 80, maybe we talked about this, but you could be driving like 90 miles an hour weaving through traffic. They still like know. They go, oh, this guy, we know Johnny, he drives fast.
Yep.
And they've already calculated you passing a bunch of cars on your way there and speeding through red lights. That's already in their that's baked in, as they say.
Yep. They see the train coming. They know we're
Yeah,
gonna
they
hit the
already
train.
know.
Got it calculated.
You can't fight it.
Yeah.
Dude.
Brutal.
And especially when you're with kids. Like, for us, we always travel. We're almost always with the dog too. So it's like, not only like when I go by myself, I do not sweat. It's very hard to miss a flight when you're by yourself.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you have to be so late because I have pre-check, I have clear, I'm not checking a bag. I would like literally have to actively try to not make the flight,
Yeah.
But with my wife and daughter, and we're checking bags. With the dog, you have to go. You can't even just do the bag drop. You have to like talk to an actual person to get the dog checked in. It's like,
yeah.
So there's so many landmines. I mean, what if there's a line for the one line we need? What if, like you said, there's baggage claims all screwed up? My wife doesn't have pre-check. She didn't even have TSA pre-check. Like, what century are you living in? And she's always like, well, I don't fly, but like, we do fly a lot. It seems like we fly a lot because it comes up a lot that I'm frustrated about this.
And there's so many lines. There's the line to check your bag. Like, if you're with your family, you get a line to check your bag, or to just get your ticket, whatever. Even to drop off your check bag, you have to get in a line. You got security line. You got a lot. We had to wait for a shuttle. We're parking in the Super Saver lot.
Oh, you're
so we
parking.
have to wait for the shuttle. Yeah. Oh, there's so many lines.
I don't even park. Are you a smart cart guy? Do you pay for a smart cart?
No.
What do?
No,
You just hoof
it?
it?
I just lug it all.
Well, yeah, because your kids are.
Kids have like one bag. Half their shit's in my bag. I pack so light.
So they carry their own bags.
Yeah, they got a backpack each, and then their clothes are in me and Aaron's bag. So we only checked 2 bags, and then my mother-in-law checked a bag. So we had 3 checked bags between the 6 of us.
Oh, okay.
And then we each had our carry-on.
So you made the flight, I'm guessing.
Made the flight. It was fine. It was great.
So Aaron was right, actually. You did leave at the appropriate time.
Yeah. I mean, I just gotta get stressed because until we're through the
But why
security.
be stressed? Like, was it worth it to feel that? That would be my point. Is it worth
No, I
it?
mean, of course not. I mean,
Right.
here we are in hindsight, but I'm not
No,
straight
no, no.
like
I'm not blaming you. I would say,
I would
is
never
it
complain to sit there for 2 hours
right?
comfortable knowing whatever happens, I'm here, baby.
Right, 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 right. Okay. So you get on the flight.
Get on the flight. And first of all, this is not just me tearing apart this Disney. It was a lovely, lovely trip.
This is what we're
It
all
was
here
great.
for. This is what we
It was
waited 2 weeks for, though.
a
No,
great trip.
because I see I talked about it last time we spoke, I think, but these videos of like parents like totaling it all up and like, is it worth it? And Disney
Oh, I
has a
didn't do
way of
that.
like getting you, and
You know
so
what the trick is? You got to just, and I learned this like, I mean, I will talk about the Genie Pass and like, okay, we paid, whatever, thousands and thousands of dollars for our park passes, the resort, everything. And you're thinking, okay, we didn't do the meal pass. So I'm like, I know we're going to have to pay for food. But even the parks itself, you have to get the Genie Pass, which is like between $16 to $22 per person per day, or else it's just a miserable. You're just in line. You're probably going to be in line, two lines for the whole day
oh
for
yeah.
two
But
rides
that's like
if you don't get that.
the good thing with that is though, but that's money well spent. I mean, like everyone's complaining about like my mom. I brought that up to her because she loves Disneyland though, but she hasn't been in the modern era with
Yeah.
all these hacks, these line cheats, and
Right.
she's complaining about it. But I'm like, you know what? And my friend Jeff used to say this because they started doing that at Universal Studios, I think, before Disney did, and you could just pay. I think it was like VIP or something, and it was like $15 more for your ticket, and you could just skip all the lines. And he's like, people, and I do it, and he has money, but it's not like I'm a millionaire. It's $15 to not wait
Right.
in an hour line. Everyone should do that if they really do the cost benefit analysis.
Oh, it's totally worth it. But it's
Yeah,
like,
but
oh,
it's just
$16,
enraging.
22.
Yeah,
Yeah, but then when you are like, oh, I have to multiply this times 6 every day for 4 days,
yeah,
it's like, well, this is over $500 more than
right.
I thought. I thought we were done paying for stuff. And you have to get up. You have to we had to set our alarm for midnight every night and 7 a.m. every night, every morning. So you buy the Genie Pass at midnight because they only give so many. Otherwise, theoretically everyone could buy it and it just wouldn't be
Oh,
anything.
and you have to keep buying it for every day of your trip.
You have
You
to
can't
buy.
just.
Yep. You have to buy. You can't buy it till midnight, the day of.
Oh
So
my
that's when you
god.
buy the Genie Passes, and then at 7 a.m. you have to get on there, and there's all these YouTube videos of like, you need two phones, one to go to time dot, IS, which has the exact world time clock exactly synchronized, and right when it's at 7 o'clock, that's when you have to sign up for your virtual queue for the rides if you want to get on those rides, the new rides, the Guardians or the Tron ride. And we did it, and we did it all like, I mean,
And it
it was,
worked.
and it worked, but it just seemed like this is not relaxing. Yeah, I'm
Well,
setting an
no.
alarm for midnight and then 7 a.m. every single day.
So,
I'm on fucking vacation. It's like I'm trying to buy Jordans that are releasing twice a day, every day of
right.
my vacation.
But all you got to do is go on the Tron ride. I mean, like, and that's the other thing. I used to think this even as a dumb kid, but because back then you would wait in the line. And I think even like as an adult, I went to Disneyland once. The last time I went was probably in
Yeah.
my early 30s or something. And I remember being in the line for one of them. And it is kind of that thing like you wait so long and then you get on it and then you're like, that's it.
Yeah. Less than the length of a song.
Like that was it. It's done. But they can't ever live up. Nothing's worth that's the scary truth. Nothing's worth an hour long line.
I know.
Nothing's worth it. No restaurant, no game, no, nothing. No club.
Because you build it up
show.
as you're waiting. That
Yeah.
anticipation, you're just building it up.
He's built it up too much.
Do you have your phone on you?
Yeah.
I just see if you got the text I just sent you.
Yeah.
I did not keep track of money while I was on it. I added it up.
Oh wow.
Very loosely when I got back, and I was like, wow, that was.
Oh, this is the.
That's one meal.
This
That's
is the
one
lunch.
meal.
Adult lunch. Wait, what does that mean? 3 adult lunches.
Because we have 3 adults
kids
and 3
lunches
kids
at the Tusker House.
But that was
it's like a theme restaurant, or it was just a regular.
Yeah, it's like a safari type. It was at the Animal Kingdom, but it was but you meet all the animal, all the Donald Duck, Daisy Duck, Minnie Mouse, Goofy, Mickey. They all come to your table throughout your meal and hug your kids and talk to your kids, and then they move to the next table. So it's like, I mean, our kids loved it.
It was more than just the food.
Yeah. And the food was really good. Like everyone agreed.
Oh, it was. Oh, interesting. See, I would have guessed that it wasn't. Oh, so that's good. I noticed
the
that
food at the resorts weren't great, but like the restaurants, when you do those reservations at the character dining, those are really good. Which we only did.
I noticed someone got the African margarita.
Yeah, there's 3 drinks. I mean, that it adds up. There was a few drinks.
But you know what? The drinks are not outrageous. $15. I mean,
that's not bad.
That's not bad in a modern day. It's the food that's crazy for 3 people, 3 lunches for 180. That's the.
Yeah, but the total is what, 430.
Total is 435. 435.75. That's a big bill, dude.
Big bill
for lunch.
I know. But I think that was the biggest single bill for a meal.
That's crazy.
But it was great. But man, I'll tell you. So the first day we go to Epcot, and we got in the line for Guardians of the Galaxy. That's the new ride. We didn't really know much about it.
So they're putting like good rides at Epcot now. See, like I remember Epcot was like the boring one, but now they actually have fun stuff at Epcot. Well, that's smart of them.
So Duncan and Edie were like excited. They were tall enough. So we're like, oh, this is fine. Whatever. We get in. Duncan's like, I don't want rides that are like, he doesn't like the feeling you get in an airplane when it drops like that.
Right. Your stomach jumps up into your throat. Yeah.
And Edie was excited, but like, we didn't know what was going on. The line is kind of an experience because you're like, they tell a story while you're in line. So you kind of don't realize you're in line. There's videos playing. It's like, we got to get them into the chamber. We got to get them decontaminated. So you're doing all this fake shit while you're just standing in a line. And then we get in to the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, and it's a roller coaster, and it like immediately all the carts, like individual carts, turn around. They rotate on the cart they're on. So all of a sudden you're facing backwards and you just get blasted backwards at 60 miles an hour. And Duncan starts screaming. I'm next to Duncan. Aaron's next to Edie. Duncan just starts screaming, stop, stop. And he's just screaming, stop. It's like this. The ride is this free spinning. Your cart is just spinning as you're on this crazy roller coaster, whipping around in the dark. Like it's just all in the dark. So like I can't enjoy it. Because my heart is just like, my son is literally in hell right now. He thinks he's going to die. He's miserable. He hates it. So I was just like, hey, buddy, you're doing great. You're great. You're safe. It's fine. You're doing great.
Yeah.
As we're like whipping around this dark roller coaster is terrifying. He's like sobbing. He was like sobbing on the ride. And I was just like, oh my God.
But when he was done, did he take some pride in the fact that he did it? Like,
no, that's what I tried. That was like
I did it. That was probably the scariest. Like he's gonna like revisionist history. Like I loved it, and then you're like, you want to do it again? Like no. But then that's what I remember as a kid. Like if I ever, because I hated roller coasters, and then I think I got tricked into going on the one that drops, the Tower of Terror.
Yeah,
and they convinced me to do it. And I hate it, I'm so scared. And then I did it, and then like, and I was telling, oh yeah, that wasn't so bad. It was fun. You want to do it again? Never in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did
So,
that
but
one.
he didn't have that sort of like, now I want to brag to all my friends I did the.
Not that ride. I mean, that ride was probably the most intense of all the rides at the park. I mean, it was
Yeah.
crazy.
Okay.
And Edie was
Interesting.
telling me, "Hey, I got to be honest with you guys. You lost trust. Like, I don't know if I'll be able to trust you on these rides." So, like, we would have to watch a YouTube video, a
Edie
POV
told
YouTube
you that?
video. Oh yeah, yeah, crazy.
I gotta be honest with you guys. You guys lost trust.
Lost trust for going on future rides. I
Wow.
was like, well, we didn't know. It's not
Oh
like we
yeah. What do
lied.
I say? What do
We
you mean
didn't know.
trust? How do I know?
But there were rides after that where like Edie would be like, I don't want to do this. 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 Like almost crying. And I'm just like, all right, let's let Edie go to the exit and wait, whatever. But Aaron was just like, no, it'll be good. You're good. And would like make like
Oh, I like
get them
it.
strapped in.
Yeah.
And then at the end, like Guardians was the only ride that Edie was like, they were both like, nope. All the other ones after that, Edie was like terrified, and then when they got off, they're like, that was probably my favorite ride of the whole park. Like they were
Okay.
champs after that. But man,
And that was
oof,
the first big ride. Was the Guardians?
yeah,
That's what
that
the
was day
introduction was.
one. That was day one. So like Tron,
Disneyland sucks.
the Tower of Terror, me and Aaron did on our own because
Yeah.
I knew they're not gonna like that. And then the Tron ride we did, and that's where you're like on a motor or a roller coaster. So you're like strapped, you're like
Yeah.
riding this bike thing. And that one was pretty crazy. But
Can I say something? I feel like
yeah.
Disneyland has sucked some of your life force away.
How's
You
that?
you, you just seem your color. You're like a little.
Oh,
I hear it in your voice. You seem very tired. It
oh
seems
my
like
yeah.
it's worked you for. It wasn't relaxing, like you just said.
Oh, it was not. I mean, when we were coming back, I was like, I am ready to be done. Like I need a vacation from
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
being
Yeah.
on vacation because it was
I
so
mean,
much work. I didn't
I
have my voice. I wish I had recordings or videos of me on that last day because I literally had no voice and I could only talk by doing it high pitched because that's the only way a sound would come out.
so funny. I feel like that seems like because we just when we go anywhere though, I feel like when you have your kid and when we're a group, it never feels like there's a great Louis C.K. joke, and I think the only way I heard it was because I heard Seinfeld quote it. But he's like when like dads go on vacation, like the moment that you got everybody in the car and you shut the door and you walk around to the
Yeah.
driver's side, that's the dad's vacation. Like that moment of walking from the door to the other door, that's the one moment you feel relaxed. It's everything's packed in the car and I have this time
Yeah.
before I get back in the car.
It's so
But
true.
it's kind of true. I mean, it's like you do need those ones where you go away just with you and your wife at least. Like that's what I always think about you too when because Heidi used to always be so against like all inclusive resorts or
Uh-huh. No,
but
I
like
love it.
what you
I'm
said
all
where you
about
just go
that.
lay on a beach and get drunk for like
And
6
don't
days in
learn
a row.
anything. You don't
And
learn about the
don't go
culture.
to any museums or on
No,
any don't see any pyramids.
there's no
Just go.
calendar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right. But you had a great time.
I of course. I will say this. That was the perfect amount of time. We were there like 5 days. Because
5 days.
if we were
Okay.
there one extra day, like the wheels started to fall off on that last day.
Yeah.
We got, mother-in-law, me and Aaron and
Is
her mother-in-law.
two
Yeah.
different two different rooms or is it one room?
No, it was like a room, but then it had a room inside the room. So like
Hmm.
me and Aaron had our own room, and then there were two beds out there, and then we had a bed. So it was like two people per bed. So Edie slept with Gigi.
Oh, okay.
So it was
That's
fine.
not horrible then.
But yeah, we were together all the whole time. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't understand like the intensity of these rides, like the Guardians. We're in ride, and we're like, and we weren't worried because we're like, oh, there's a kid with there's like little babies and kids, and it's just like
Yeah.
the kids. They're like, you have to be 38 inches. That's not very tall,
Yeah.
and it's
I
just
mean,
like I.
it's interesting because I feel like they probably think like we got to keep up with like Six Flags. Cause I remember do you remember going from like, I think the only amusement park I'd been to was like, I mean, they had this one by our house called, well, Wild Waves and Enchanted. So it was like fair rides, basically,
Yeah.
like the big
Were there
ship,
roller
the
coasters?
big ship that goes back and forth,
Yeah.
and then maybe one, but not like real roller coasters. And then so I'd gone to Disneyland, so I knew like the most intense thing I'd ever seen or heard of was like Splash Mountain, Space Mountain, you know. And so
Yeah.
then when we moved to LA, I think maybe like on one of our trips down to California, we went to Six Flags when I was like in high school, and
Yeah.
that was like they don't give a fuck. Like they're just those things go like the crazy loops. And I
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
there was some
Yeah.
Superman thing where they just shoot you off the side of a mountain, and it's like
Yeah.
it's all nut. They don't care at all. They're not even worried about lawsuits or anything. Like we're basically broke anyway. We don't care, you
Yeah.
know. And
Yeah.
so way more intense than anything. So I wonder if Disneyland has felt the pressure of like, okay, we've got to like up the ante. We can't just do like, it's a small world over and over again,
Right.
and gentle boat rides.
Yeah, I think it's new, like, because I don't remember that when I mean, I haven't been since I was 7 years old to Disney World, but like, yeah,
Yeah.
there's some serious
So
rides.
you went, I mean, I'm just like, that's what also intimidates me about. I'm living through you because I'm so glad you did this because I don't know if we're going to do it, but it just
I'm glad
sounds
we
like
did
so
it. I
much.
don't think we will never do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, next
Yeah.
time it's just Mexico Beach or something.
Yeah. Let the kids jump in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the one thing I did, I wrote down that I just thought was so funny, and maybe I'd try to make a bit, but like the shit, there's something about Disney that people are just obsessed. Like, there's like people that are obsessed with Marvel. Like, there's
Yeah.
people, everyone had their, he's my Mickey, she's my Minnie, or whatever,
Yeah.
like matching shirts. And like the things people would wear in public at this fucking at Disney. We're at the store getting souvenirs, and there's like a guy looking in the mirror, trying on, some fucking collared shirt where fucking Goofy's face is the entire. And he's just like, yeah, okay, yeah, that looks pretty good. Like, that's the fucking. When would you ever,
Oh my
ever
God.
wear that?
Well, okay. So there's this term. Have you heard the term Disney adults? So it's like with the guy you're talking about. It's these adults who just, and I think it is more of a Florida thing than a California thing. So like it is more of a, because like there's that town where Disney World is or near where they're like Disney owns the town and it's like a planned community and there's no litter or,
Oh, okay.
you have to be like it's like Pleasantville or something. Anyway, so I've heard like people obviously make fun of the idea of Disney adults. Like, look at these losers, Jesus Christ, read a book or some shit. Why are you obsessed
Yeah.
with Mickey Mouse? But then, like, that's when also, like, that's when you're like, clearly you're just in the tank for Disney. Like, you don't like Mickey Mouse. Like, what's your favorite Mickey Mouse movie? When did Mickey Mouse really make you laugh? You know what I mean? What did he do?
Yeah.
Fantasia? Nobody likes Fantasia. You can pretend.
Yeah. Nobody likes it.
Nobody liked it. I didn't like when you're a kid, you can
I
appreciate it
fucking
as an
hated it when I
adult.
was a kid.
You're like, oh yeah, there's wow, classical music. That's great. But like as a kid, who gives a fuck? Fantasia. So what's Steamboat Willie? What do we care about Mickey Mouse? No, you have to like invent this passion. Like when I watch, sometimes Ginger would watch like these Disney Channel, like if you're in a hotel and you don't have they have Disney Channel, just like the
Yeah.
actual TV channel, not Disney
Yeah.
Plus. And they've got Bluey, they've had to outsource to the good stuff.
Yeah.
But then because they're like still, so we have to brand it, they'll have like Mickey's Playhouse in between. So he's like the shitty MC for the good
Yeah.
shows. He like tries to like they try to like just fucking announce the next show, please. It's like a bad MC. You're like, just bring up the next comic. Don't do time in between.
Yeah.
That's
It's
Mickey
so,
Mouse.
it's so
That's who he
true.
is now. He's just like he's like who's that guy? I shouldn't name names, but who's that guy in LA who had the show on Monday nights and he would have like Dane Cook on and he was like buddies with Dane Cook and then he had all these famous comics on.
Oh, Jay
Jay something. Jay
Davis.
Dave. Yeah, he's never gonna who gives a shit? He's never gonna know.
If I say it slowly.
Dude, Jay Davis is Mickey Mouse because he would just put his face on it, his name on it. It's like, yeah, but then he just book as many famous people as he could, try to get people to forget. Hmm. But what was my point? I was really working up to something.
These adults.
Oh,
these
Disney adults.
Disney adults.
So my thing is then I've seen this sort of pushback where they go, hey, if you find this guy Dustin Nickerson, who's a funny comic, but I saw him talk about this, and he was making his point, which was like, hey, if you find something that you love, like that guy in the Goofy shirt, and it's like that's as valid as anything else, you know, like he's like, if you're a sports fan, you can't make fun of Disney adults. Like you buy a jersey with another man's name on it,
Right.
and you paint your face and yell and scream. My rebuttal would be football or sports is not
Are fun.
made for children. Like literally made for children.
Right.
You know? Like it's made with the idea of adults in mind. Everything with Disney is made with the idea of children.
Yeah, whose brains have not developed yet.
Right.
You know?
Right. You're basically saying like the art I appreciate the most is made for an undeveloped brain.
Right.
That's what I relate.
Wardrobe is centered around that.
College shirt. It's like, oh, I got a wedding coming up. I need a nice one. Let's see. What do you think? Goofy or Pluto?
Oh my
You think
God.
this is a good Bumble pick? What do you think? Should I do the ears or no? No ears? That's too much. You're right.
Oh, my Bumble pick.
So you go. So what's the order? So you have 5 days. You go Epcot, Magic Kingdom, Animal Safari.
Yeah, it was Epcot, Magic Kingdom, and then Hollywood Studios, and then Animal Kingdom. So 4 parks
in 5 days. Did you repeat? What's the one you repeated?
We didn't, because it was the travel day.
Gotcha. Okay,
yeah.
Great.
And it was cool. We were in this resort, it was Art of Animation resort. We had like this cool Nemo pool outside. We didn't use the pool once because
we got jam early in the
morning. Then you get home and it's 8:00.
And there's no naps. There's no like breaks. It's all day in the park.
Go.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
When you guys would get back to the room and like the kids, you tuck in the kids. What are you doing? Are you staying up for like an hour? You're just straight to bed.
I mean, we're watching YouTube videos of which rides, planning, like, because you have to have a plan. You have to have a plan at 7 a.m. You have to know which one to do.
I just imagine like you down in a hotel bar with like a yellow legal pad and a pencil and trying to figure out
that is
which
what it
ride
is.
to get on. They'll never know.
Oh my God.
These kids.
But I was so tired at the end of every day. I was so exhausted. That's why I'd like set an alarm to wake up at midnight. Because I was like, I can't. We didn't watch anything. We would just pass out after we figured out the next day's plans.
But but the kids loved it.
Yeah, the kids did. They loved it. It was great. Because Erin went when she was a kid. I went when I was a kid. So we had these memories. It's like, okay, well, they're gonna remember this. And this will be like, oh, I went to Disney World. Yeah. Oh my God.
So you stayed at one of the official resorts too. Like,
yeah, I mean, we still had to take the, whatever, the cable cars or the bus shuttles.
Yeah, you couldn't just walk right into the park.
Right. But it was it was on the Disney property or whatever.
Incredible. Well, I'm proud of you. That's like that's an accomplishment.
I felt it when we got home. I was like, we did it. We did that.
And you never have to do it again.
It's a quarter of our savings is disappeared.
Right.
We did it. Oh my God.
Dude. Yeah,
what is it? You gonna do it at some point?
Well, not Disney World. For some reason, Disneyland seems more achievable to me. I think cause when you live down there, I don't know if you ever went when you were living there, but every once in a while, somebody would have like a free pass or something,
Yeah,
or so they're going. And then there was also no pressure when you would go in that scenario. Like you just parked in a parking
yeah.
lot, and then you'd walk. It
It
seemed,
seems like more of a Six Flags type thing than
yeah,
a
yeah. Then
big
a whole like immersive thing where you're trapped in
yeah.
this world. And so, yeah, and then also you didn't care. There was no like list of rides you had to do when you're
All
going
right.
as an adult. So you didn't give a shit. I was like, what doesn't have a line? Okay, we'll go do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that does rub me the wrong way. Like it's one thing to pay, like if you're just gonna charge me more to skip lines, that's fine. But I don't want to get up at midnight and
And
enter in a
plan.
code from the world clock like a Bond villain. You and Aaron just staring at each other in bed. Look, synchronize your watches.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1,
And go.
click. Oh,
Yeah. But we did. I mean, right, because everyone in the park, like you're watching YouTube videos, it's like get off the Wi-Fi, leave your hotel. You got to go outside so you get a better signal. Like all this shit, you got to log out of your account and log back in just to make sure you don't get timed out when you're trying to order it. And we were right at the 7 o'clock minute, and our spot for the ride was still like 4:45 p.m. because everyone in the whole all the places is at
see,
7 o'clock. They're
it's
doing that.
become pointless then. It's like Clear. Clear has reached at the airport. It
Yeah.
has reached the point where it's now a longer line than just like old fashioned TSA pre-check.
Really?
Yeah. It's officially
Oh,
not, no one should ever, like, I don't pay for it. It's just like one of those perks you get with the credit card, but
yeah.
nobody should ever pay for it.
Pay for Clear.
No. And,
Huh.
and I think that's what happened is they just give it away to enough people where now it's not exclusive. So the line is now longer. And you can tell these morons just want to use it
Because they
because
paid
they're
for it.
like, they paid for it or just they have it. And
Yeah.
so like literally I was in Houston, and the woman straight up was telling people like you just instinctively you go to the Clear line, and she's like,
Yeah.
honestly, you're faster going to TSA pre-check just like the regular one. And I saw a guy just go, nah, I want I want I want you to
I
hold
wanted you to check out my pupil.
I want you to hold my hand and take me through and wave me through,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Wow.
But yeah, that's what this Disney Genie thing is. It's like if it's become the point where everyone's getting up at midnight and it's still packed, then what's the point of it,
But it's not like a thing where you could just go and skip the line. It's like every 2 hours you get to pick you go on the app. Everything's through the app. If you don't have a smartphone, you just can't go to Disney. There's no point.
Yeah.
But when you're available, you can look at the rides and they'll say, oh, you could sign up for Tron at 3:45, or you could sign up for, Small World at 2:15. So it's not like it's not just a pass to skip a line. All like you only get so
Right, right, right,
many.
right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they used to have the smart pass thing. Is that what it's called? Where
Speed pass?
where you would just go into the park and you would go to these little stations and you'd take like a ticket, and instead of waiting in line right now, you could go
Yeah.
walk or fuck off for 2 hours and
And they
then
tell
come
you when to
back
come
and you'd
back.
have like a
Yeah.
spot in line.
It's
Like
like
that
that.
seemed better. What was wrong with that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
And on top of the Genie, you can buy, because you only get so many, you every 2 hours you get to pick a new ride or whatever. You can buy individual lightning lane entries, which is like $22 for a ride.
These greedy bastards.
It's crazy.
They're so greedy. It makes me not want that. See, that makes me not want to go. Right there.
Yeah.
I'll take the like $400 lunches, because they got the characters and the food was good. But that kind of shit, I would lose my stack over.
See, and now that like when I was researching it, or when Aaron was researching it and we were talking about it, I was like, this is disgusting. But then once I was in the park, I was like, I just had to shut off my mind and be like, okay, money is not a thing.
That's how they get you. See,
I know, and it works.
Yeah.
Because we enjoyed it. We're like, all right.
Right.
And then, on the plane ride home, I'm like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
The chips were my money. The chips were my money.
It's gonna make you look at these Disney movies all different.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you, I'll never look at a Disney movie and be like, wow, how did they afford to do that?
Like, fuck that Moana.
Right.
Stupid. Heart of the ocean.
It's like they do. I mean, they use that money. Like it's you're walking around the fucking, I forget the name of the place in Avatar. Like they have floating islands in the sky. I mean, it's just
no.
like,
I mean, that's what I remember about it. It's like they do keep the illusion up.
yeah.
Like again, at Six Flags, you're seeing puke on the side of the ride, and there's some guy selling like illegal shit in the park. Somehow he got in there with his stand, and you're like, you're not even. This is knockoff stuff. This is Gucci. What are you doing selling Gucci wallets in here? I remember. Have I ever told this story? We went to Six Flags, and there's one of these crazy. Right, it was when my brother was in college. He went to Irvine, Concordia, Irvine, and he played baseball. So he was on his baseball team. A lot of these guys went, and I went with them. I was the only young kid.
Yeah.
And we went on one of those rides. It's like a loop-de-loop-de-loop-de thing. So if everybody had flip-flops, of course, it's LA. So we all, then you see like there's a pile of shoes, like flip-flops, because you're going to lose your flip-flops if you go on the ride.
You just take them off
legs
before you
dangle.
go on?
It's one of those ones where your legs are dangling,
Okay.
So they're like, so obviously you just leave your flip-flops here, and then you get them off. You get off the ride the same place you get on, and then you can take your flip-flops.
Yeah.
Well, so we get off the ride. My flip-flops are gone, And so I'm like, oh shit, somebody lost theirs and was like, took my flip-flops,
Yeah.
And so we're walking through the park, and it's hot, and I have no shoes. And the pavement is hot. And I gotta walk. We parked far away, and it's a black asphalt parking lot.
Yeah.
Deep,
Yeah.
And there's no cable car or magical tram. It's Six Flags,
Yeah.
So we're just walking. So we're walking through the park. My feet are burning. It's like miserable. And then my brother sees this big dude, this big heavy dude, and he's huge, and he's got these flip-flops that are like barely covering his feet, and they're like my brother just took off. I don't know what got into him, but he just took off and chased this dude down and got my flip-flops back. And then the guy was like,
they were yours?
They were my flip-flops. And the guy was like, oh, I thought those were just like community flip-flops. Like, like if you lose yours, they had a pile that you could pick from. It was like, yeah, buddy. All right. And so we made that guy go barefoot through the parking lot. I should have shared them. I should have been like, okay, you take one, I take one, we'll hop.
Where did he lose his?
On the ride. So he was just dumb enough to not take his off.
I see.
And then he lost them. And so when he got off the ride, he's like, oh shit, look at that. Free flip-flops.
How convenient.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn.
I don't know.
Anyway. So that was Disney.
Well, and now your kids can never be those kids who grow up and go, oh, my parents never took me to Disney World.
Exactly.
They'll never have that against you.
They can't do that.
So it was all worth it.
Yeah, they can.
So it would have been like
if pay for college, but
yeah, yeah. If you had gone, let's say you go and you're like, I got no money, but we're gonna do this on a budget, right?
Disney World.
Yeah. So you're like, we're gonna stay at like a Hampton Inn.
Yep.
Deep, and just I don't know what you do. Uber in. drive in, pay to park. What's parking? If you did you even?
I have no idea.
Yeah, who knows what it would be? And then you're not going to do any of the Genie Plus. Would it just be like a miserable experience? Like, can you not?
Yes.
It wouldn't be worth doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, we were like debating, like, well, let's not get our Gigi a pass because she never uses it. But it's like, well, even if she uses it once, like that's worth it. Like,
because otherwise, if the
otherwise
line
she's
is
just
just
coming and not going on literally anything.
is
And
there
that's not
just like the lines are just like all full of suckers who wouldn't get the Genie
I
Plus
don't
thing?
know. I wondered that myself. I was like, who
Who
is
are
in
these losers?
who are these people? I mean, not to sound elitist, but it's just like, why come at all if you're
Right.
spending
Well, if the
literally
ticket
135 minutes in
right.
line for the
So
Tower of Terror?
a day ticket's over $100, right? Like a pass.
It's like 235, I think, or something. I mean,
Okay,
we
so
had it all bundled together for the,
yeah.
but like I looked walking in
So
at
it's
the thing.
235. So you're like, okay, I get a miserable experience for 235 where I wait in line all day, or for 250, I can go on all the rides I want. I mean, it seems obvious what you should do.
Yeah.
Like anybody would. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you gotta.
I don't know,
I don't
man.
know.
It scares the shit out of me. Like I said, I think Disneyland's more
More Six Flagsy.
or just an easier bite at the apple. It just seems
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Seems
I
small.
don't remember having to have an app.
The other thing about it, I mean, they probably have that app thing at Disneyland
Yeah,
now too,
probably.
but the other thing about it is I read that the time you're supposed to go
Yeah.
is the week after Thanksgiving. Because kids are
Okay.
back in school and they haven't started like their like Christmas parade bullshit that everyone goes
Yeah.
there for. So it's like you're catching this down time where it's like the least crowded time. So if I ever do it, I'm gonna do it the week after Thanksgiving.
Okay. Yeah, we
And then
thought we
Ginger
were
will be young
trying.
enough where it's like you're not pulling her out of anything. Like it doesn't matter, if
We
she
pulled them out of
misses.
school because we
Yeah, you
figure.
pulled them out of school anyway. Yeah.
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 How about that?
How about that?
Well, I've got the opposite of a Disneyland story. Do you want to hear this?
Yeah, I do.
Trigger warning.
Oh boy.
But I was at the Houston airport and I had a long day at the airport. 7 hours easy, maybe more, because
Oh.
I was in Galveston. I get off the ship, and then you can't go anywhere because if you Uber anywhere other than your destination, they don't reimburse you. And I knew I
Oh.
had like $100 Uber coming to go from Galveston to Houston, so I had to basically go right to the airport. So
Yeah.
I go to the airport. I'm there super early, so I can't even go to the lounge yet. The Amex line, because you can only go like 3 hours before your flight. So I'm just walking around. Finally, I go to a restaurant, calling people, whatever. I gotta go to the bathroom. So I go to the bathroom, and it's a nice airport, but
I'm
these
so excited.
stalls are built like space pods. So no gaps.
Oh, no gaps at the top or bottom?
Which sounds very like luxurious, right? Like, oh, I have my own pod. So no gaps. So the only way if someone's in the stall is if it's locked, and then they have little red or green on the
Yeah.
little mechanism. So I go to one I can see is red. Then they're in the middle. The one on the right, it's not red or green. It's like halfway. So I give it a little quick tug, but you can't check under the thing.
Yeah, right.
It doesn't open. Like, oh, phew, thank God. I almost. So then the other one, I go, it's green. So I go, okay, there we go. I open it up. Guy on the shitter. It's worse. It's 1,000 times worse. And honestly, I only looked for like the least amount of time possible before I shut the door. It was the worst thing you can imagine him doing.
Make the face he made at you.
But it is the worst. It's worse than that. He was.
There is no time in my life where I'm ever more sure that I've done something right than locking a door when I'm taking a shit in public.
He wasn't taking a shit. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
What?
He was jacking off.
Oh, no.
I am not joking. And it's like, now I know it was so traumatic. So I obviously, like, in a millisecond, I closed the door. And then I don't just walk out of the bathroom. I walk out of the terminal. Like, I'm in the E gates. I'm walking to like the B gates. I'm like, I can't even be around because I have like 4 more hours in this airport. I can't ever be around when this guy is, if we ever make eye contact again, it's over for me, you know? And then you're like questioning it. You're like, did I see what I thought? I mean, his hand was furiously going up and down, but I was like, did I really see what I thought I saw? I was like, yeah, because he thought he was in his space pod. All of a sudden he got this idea of what he could, but he didn't even lock the door.
That's what I mean. Even more than taking a shit. How are you not 1,000% sure? Well, let me make sure the door is locked.
That's what I'm saying. The irrational confidence of this man of being like, I'm gonna fucking blow a load here, but yeah, it's probably locked. Whatever. I heard it shut. You know, and knowing that there's no way for anyone to check, that there's no foot confirmation. I can't even, you know what I'm saying?
Oh my God, that's
also like, wow. How long have you been in this airport? Like, how bad, like, how desperate are you?
Yeah.
You can't make it. You're going, you either came from or are going to a hotel room. So wow, how are you so pent up that you need to do this in the Houston airport?
The airport. Did you, so now make the face you made when you saw him. Did you like slam the door? Like, see, I just like the idea of you just like, whoa, running away with the door. Just
I wish I had a funny response, but I really just, it was the most coward. I don't know, whatever. Oh, it's exactly what anyone would have done. I shut the door as quickly as I opened it. Like, oh, I think I said, oh, whoop. I didn't even have time to say sorry, but like, I'm glad I didn't say sorry. I'm not sorry. You should be sorry.
Right.
I was assaulted.
Oh my God. That is.
And that's how I know. And then in my head again, see, I know now it's like, I've never been flashed before. This was a very traumatic experience for me. Yeah. And then you're going over it. You're like, wait, is that really what it was? You're like questioning yourself, because who would do that, you know? But then I remember he had the phone out. And you're like, that is exactly what he was doing.
How was his penis?
Large. But
good for him.
My question is like, do you think he finished? Like he got interrupted. And then you're like, well, in for a goose, in for a gander. I mean, he's already gonna tell everybody. So at least I should finish, you know.
Oh, I had to. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, that's all I think about.
Yeah, you definitely slowed him down. That's for sure.
They should have a Genie Plus for jaying off at the airport. The reserve some times. God almighty.
I can jerk off in the middle stall at 3:45.
So this isn't really a topic. Maybe I should have made it one, but that right there, no stalls without some sort of gap. Feet gap.
Yeah.
Feet gap. Always have a feet gap. Just for a little visual check, you know, because I never just pull, even if it said, like, if it was an old fashioned stall and it had a red line.
Yeah.
I still wouldn't just pull on the door. I mean, if it had a green line, like if it showed unlocked.
Oh, yeah, you kind of look to see if there's feet.
I still give it a little visual peek on the feet to make sure.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
See, and if that had happened when there was a gap underneath and you accidentally, like, you just didn't check, then you'd be like, oh my God, you got to jerk it off in there. Then you can at least look down underneath and be like, okay, the guy in the red Reeboks, if I see him walking
Yeah.
around,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
guy.
I know. How long do you think so I obviously he doesn't know me, but I'm clearly like not about confrontation or awkwardness at all. So like I said,
He's
I
probably
left
still in there
I
right
left the
now.
terminal. That's what I'm saying. Like he's like, I can never leave. I can never leave this stall. I have to know that that guy died before I can leave the stall.
And there's a police officer waiting for me on the other side of this door.
I know. I mean, who do you tell? Can you imagine me going to like a fucking gate agent? Like, hello, I know you work for United. There's a guy in there. My flight just got canceled to PDX, but also there's a guy in there masturbating in the airport. What do you do? What is your role here about that?
Who do I talk to?
Who do I talk to?
Oh.
Well, I can do my topic because it's airline related, not jaying off related.
Okay.
Should I just go? Do we have anything else? Do you have
You
more?
know what? I
stuff?
do. All right. This is my wiener. This is my winky dinky terrible topics. It is stall related.
Okay.
And maybe this is common sense. Maybe
your topic is like, I think you should be allowed to jerk off at the airport. Oh, I kind of stepped in that one.
Whoops. The handicap stall thing.
Like,
because you're at an airport. That's the thing. Like, you're at an airport. I'm sure people do it, but that one's usually left open.
Yeah.
I don't you just go in it and like,
yeah.
If a handicap person comes, they just get to skip the line. You're not just like, it's not a handicap parking spot where you can't use it unless you're handicapped. It's like, well, I'm going to take a comfortable dump. And then if a handicap person comes, they're just next automatically.
Right. Because like, just because you're handicapped doesn't mean like every shit you take is an emergency.
Right.
You should be able to wait like everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to discriminate. You could squeeze your butthole just like us.
What about now have you noticed there's like, there'll be a women's room, a men's room, and then like a handicapped family, like single occupancy restroom. Do you ever use that?
Yeah. There was a time I think Duncan might have pissed his pants at Disney. We were in the Star Wars place, and there was a line coming out
because you made him do Galaxy of the Guardians again.
We ran. No, it was oh, that was Star Wars. You're getting your nerd shit mixed up.
No, I'm saying you made him do the ride again. That's why he pissed his pants.
Oh yeah. No, so and there was a line. He was like, as soon as we ran to the bathroom and he saw the line coming out, he turned to me. And he was like, "Dad, I'm not gonna make it."
Oh yeah.
And I turned, and there was like a, family companion, and it was unlocked. Those are always taken, and it was open. And I was like, Duncan, right here, and it was made for us. We went in. There was no one in there, and he peed. So I use those. Those are great.
Yeah, but you use them. Okay, but you had a kid with you, so you're a family, so you get no shady looks. But if you were by yourself and you had to go, would you jump in there?
Yep, I would. Yeah. I don't think I have, but yeah, I would.
Yeah. I get hesitate. I get a handicap stall. I don't even think about. Part of it's because they're not marked aggressively. They're just kind of bigger.
Yeah, they're wider.
But they don't put like a big blue wheelchair on them. Like a parking spot. You got to be an asshole because it's like so obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so I don't even think about it. But like those single occupancy restrooms, I don't know if I hesitate at least.
Huh. Well, I mean, as long as there's not a bunch of moms with babies, I'm like, whatever, I'll do it.
Just go in those breastfeeding tubes.
Those are great.
Have you seen those at the airport?
Yeah, those are great to jerk off in because
that's where he should go jerk off. And one of those. No one's gonna come knocking on that. In fact, they should just make those for that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they should make the mothers have to sneak into jerk off bins
Right.
to
Make
feed
make
their kid.
moms. I'd rather walk in on a mom breastfeeding a baby, some wholesome scene like that, than a degenerate Jay
Yeah,
offer.
Jay Offer looking at his phone. What would you do if you caught a
Unbelievable.
glimpse, like you were like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and you saw on his phone and he was on your Facebook page?
It's watching my dry bar.
Yeah, watching Breakfast Dealer.
I would be so flattered. I couldn't even be like, you know what, buddy? Every view counts.
You just slide an autograph in the crack after you shut
Right.
the door behind you.
Right. If would you mind emailing the good folks at Dry Bar and letting them know that you jerk off to this? I feel like that should help my revenues a little bit.
Yeah.
Uh
All right. So what's your topic? You backed me up.
okay, this is another airline one. This is like maybe my best my best topic of all time, I think.
Oh,
Or it's just
wow.
like my best idea.
Okay.
My Oscars one's pretty good. Remember my Oscar? And that Oscars are coming up. Remember my Oscars one?
Yeah. What was that one again?
That you should have returning champions.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
you don't lose until someone beats the actual.
Yep.
Okay. Well, how about this? So you get airline miles. I mean, you don't
Yep.
know because you don't pay attention to that stuff, which is sad. But one would know you accumulate miles when you fly on airlines. You put in
I'm
your
familiar with the concept.
and then you can use said miles to book free travel later on in your life.
Yeah.
And they do it literally. It's like if a flight is from Seattle to New York and it's 3,200 miles, you get 3,200. Like it's literally the amount of miles from one airport to the other. Right.
Oh, okay.
So here's what I need backup on. The miles is not the like what you're earning. Like when you fly, it's not hard to fly for a certain amount of miles, right? It's hard to be on the plane for a certain amount of time. So if I get on the airplane and then I'm in my seat and I'm in the middle row and there's two big people next to me and everyone's shoved and I'm shoved that. So now I'm like in this uncomfortable moment. Now I'm earning my travel, right?
Yes.
But then we get delayed on the tarmac because they have to de-ice the plane. And then when we land, our gate's not ready. So then it's another 40 minutes of waiting for the gate to open up.
I
And
like where this is going.
you should earn minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying from when you like check in at the airport, because that's still your time. You can still go to a cafe or get a beer. You're still
What are you
free.
saying is the time the door shuts?
The time the door shuts and the lady says everyone must be in their seats to the time that the seatbelt sign goes off and you can stand up. You get all of those minutes. So if your flight is delayed in the air, if you have to go around a storm, if you land and there's not a gate open, whatever. And then reverse, if they kill it and they get me there quick and we all get off the plane quicker, then we get less minutes. But I'm okay with that because it's like that was a great experience. We got there really fast, So you should earn minutes flown, not miles. And then you should be able to buy flights with minutes instead of miles. What about that?
Well, I think that's a great idea. I'm not pushing back. I'm just seeing if you've thought this through. You're buying a forward flight. How do you know how many minutes the flight's going to be? Like, let's say you've accumulated 5 hours and you want to buy a flight. So you're
they would
paying.
tell you like they do now. Like now they go because they change the price. Like you can't buy a flight mile to mile. It's not like if I go, let's say I have like 10,000 miles and then, there's LA to New York. That's only 3,000 miles. So I know that's not how they do it. They could charge you 60,000 miles depending on which day you you buy it.
Oh, I
So
see.
their price is just what they want to price it at. I'm not even telling them
Oh,
they
I
gotta
see. So it
set it.
doesn't. I see. You don't spend it the same way you
No,
earn it.
no. You
Oh,
accumulate.
okay.
It's so funny how little you know about this. The you
I did
you
that with. I
you
did
fly so
Southwest.
much.
I know, but when I was living in LA, I was like always A-list because I was always Southwest. And then now that I'm like in Madison, even when I lived in Milwaukee, it was like, okay, I'll always do Southwest. But now in Madison, they don't have Southwest, so it's like Delta, United, American, just whatever's cheapest.
I know, but even those you should be keeping track of. Anyway,
I know. Don't get mad at me. I literally the night before last night, I bought a Frontier I bought a Frontier ticket, and I knew, but
oh,
it's
you
it was
dumb
to a wedding.
motherfucker. Oh, good. Well,
It's
you're not
fly.
making that wedding.
It's fly. No, it's home from the wedding. I fly United to the wedding the night before, and then the day after the wedding, I fly home Frontier. I figure I'll just pack it. I'll wear the suit on the plane,
Great.
and then I'll change into my clothes that I have in my backpack when I get there, and then I'll have the suit in my hotel. But I don't need a
Remember, I will say, remember to print out your boarding pass at home.
Yeah, that's gonna be the problem.
That's a sneaky one because they'll charge you to print it out at the airport.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not gonna. That's the thing is you have to do it 24 hours within the flight, and I won't be near a printer.
Yeah, hotel business center, bro.
Boom, there you go.
You don't have a hotel business center?
No, I'll do it. That's what I'll
Where
do.
you staying?
I haven't figured that out yet.
What a horrible decision by you.
I know.
I'm sorry,
But it saved me like $150. And
did
the
it?
timing was right.
Did it?
Huh?
We'll see if it does. Let me just put it that way. We'll see if it does. And then that's why these places stay in business.
I know.
Everyone complains about them, and they're like, "Wow, why could they be so shitty?" Because you fly them. Because everyone flies them. We get what we deserve. Anyway, so that's what I
think that's a great.
I think
it makes there's total logic, especially now that you pointed out. Yeah, I think it's great.
Revolutionize air travel. And you know what? I'm so into it. You have to call. So like, Ginger is 3. I mean, we have to buy her a ticket now. And then I go on the Alaska Airlines thing. I'm like, you have to be 13 to have an account. I'm like, well, this is bullshit. I'm like, I have to pay full price for her to fly, but then she can't accrue the miles. Like, this is fucked up. And then I Googled it. They're not allowed to have like an online account, but they can have a number. Like they can get their airline miles. You just have to call. So I called, and now Ginger actually has a frequent flyer number.
Did she cash in on future flights?
Yeah, that she can. And then when she turns 18 or whatever, she'll have like, I mean, or I might spend them before then. I don't know, on one of her flights. But
nice.
Yeah, it's like, I'm getting her set up.
Yeah.
She's like, where can I go to college? Well, I know where you can fly to for free.
I know you can visit any college you want. I can
get you to Harvard.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. I should write that down. All right. You backing me up.
Of course.
I love it.
That's a great idea.
But that's like one of my best, right? Is that not one of my best?
No, it's very smart.
It hit me.
And because when you're on a miserable flight, you just know, I'm getting more minutes. I'm getting minutes. People are in better spirits.
It would take it would reduce the anger level on every flight that gets delayed. You know how mad and irrationally I was on one flight where there was this last one I was on, and we were like 20 minutes late because of a storm in the air. I think this is why I thought of it. And I was like not sweating it. I was like, oh, of course. This is like what people were like when we got off the plane, people were losing their mind. They were so pissed off, and like, because I was United, so I'm sitting in the back of the plane.
Yeah.
And they're all pissed off and angry and all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, they wouldn't be mad if they knew in their head, like, yeah, but go ahead, take your time. Oh, no gate. All right. And cashing in more minutes, tick, 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 tick.
Yeah. As soon as they announce it, everyone look at each other. Oh,
Yeah. High
yeah.
five.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
I'm telling you, it'd be good for the airlines. More
You gotta call
equitable.
you gotta make this happen.
Who do I call? Pete Buttigieg.
Call the same guy that you talked to about masturbating people. And
I've got 2 big ideas for you, sir. Hello, Pete Buttigieg. I've got 2 big ideas for you to revolutionize air travel.
Which one do you want to hear first?
Which one do you want to hear first?
The one that
you know what? I should probably tell you the minutes miles ones first, because you might hang up on me if I tell you the other one first. All right. What do you need back up on, my good buddy, old pal?
Of course. And then next week we'll get back to adding scenes to our movie.
Oh, don't promise them that. Why would you promise them that?
Oh, we promised it last
We don't know that we do that.
Okay. I just don't want them to think. I don't want people to think we forgot about it. We didn't forget.
You know what? I had this thought earlier today, and I started to feel some guilt. And I said to myself, like, God, you're not following through on that movie thing. And listen, if you want one of these podcasts that actually does everything that they say they're going to do all the time, this is not, just stop listening right now.
Listen to any other podcast.
Listen to any other podcast that's going to follow through on their ideas. This one sometimes doesn't.
Yeah.
And that's just
but we'll always entertain you.
But we get one out every Monday. Have we not had one out every Monday?
We have.
Okay.
All right.
So
there you go, folks.
Back off.
Back off.
There's me getting angry at the
go
hypothetical. Go fuck yourselves, you stupid listeners. Turn it off right now. Don't even listen to Johnny's topic. I don't want you to hear it.
No, that was my topic, the toilet.
What do you mean the toilet?
The handicap one.
Oh, that you should be able to use it?
Yeah, you don't gotta keep it. It's just let them cut.
Yeah, it's a big toilet. I like it. It's great in the airport because your bags fit in there nice. Like I got my little roller bag, and then like if I have my backpack, I'll hang it on the hook. You ever change? It's a good one to change in too if you have to change.
We've talked about the doors. I don't
in
know
or
why
out.
Walk. Yeah, why they always open in.
Is that right?
For the most part, I just remember because when I came up with a topic, it was
trying to think of when I saw
blown away being in a stall where I like opened the door to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, talk to somebody about that. I don't know. I can't even picture it right now. I'm telling you, I'm traumatized. All I can see is this guy. I'll never be able to shit in an airport stall again.
Oh my God! Don't say that. Hey,
Who am I kidding? I'll do it. Do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll do it right now. Give me an Uber. I'm going to PDX and take a dump. All right. That's the show, folks.
That's the show, folks. Thanks for tuning in. February 23rd, 24th, I will be at Mason City Limits, Bloomington. One of those nights. It's on my website. The booker emailed me. It was like, "Hey, Johnny, quick correction to your website." I was like, So it's correct on my website, johnnybeaner.com. Oh boy. This is a good time for audio to fall out for Andrew. We got no audio on Andrew. So if you want to see Andrew, check out andrewslater.com. It's not to be confused with johnnybeaner.com. It's the exact same template. We got nothing. You know what? On March 2nd, you can catch Johnny Beaner at the Comedy Cabin in Janesville. Still nothing from Andrew. Stick around, sign up for the Patreon, and you can listen to me talk to myself for 15 minutes.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Going through the computer. All right, it's gonna say that's the way it goes. March 1st at the Whidbey Island the cultural theater or something with Bo Johnson, and then March 2nd, Saturday, North Bend, kind of just east of Issaquah there. It's near Seattle, the North Bend Theater. Those are 2 shows. Also, I'm all lined up for your hood. This is way later. Not really plugging these right now, but Omaha, Kansas City, Lincoln, and Wichita coming up in April. So
nice. When those get close, you got to tell me the venues.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, thanks for listening to
the Cavalry.